I often get asked to create or to capture data from your audience or from new signups or new joiners to your course. So I'm just going to quickly show you how to create a Google form and capture data from your audience. So we're going to go into this item here and on the left hand side and click on to add new item and more, and we're going to select here Google Forms. I'm going to title our form New Joiners. Item 1, we're going to require them to complete their name, and we're going to slide this across to required because we do want to capture by default the person's name that's applying for this form, and we're selecting here as a short answer so that they have the option to write their name, their nickname, or what they like to be called. We're going to go down to the left, to the right hand side here and click add a question, and in here we are going to add in their date of birth. Now this, I think you need to tailor this questionnaire to however you see fit for your business. So you might not require the person to complete their date of birth or their address or any personal details. And I think it's very compliant to your GDPR statement on your website and your email. So if you do not have a GDPR policy in line with your business, you're very limited to what data you can collect, but just make sure that you are only asking for anything that you have covered off in your GDPR policy and that you're only capturing data that your clients have previously agreed to, or it's very informative on your website and your email what data is going to be collected. When you select required on one of these Google Forms and people are submitting their data, they're technically agreeing to you having that information. For example, if you slide that as a required to the email address and they are agreeing to share their email address with you, they're actually agreeing to for you to be able to email them at that email address. However, depending on your policy, they're obviously not agreeing for you to share that email address with anybody else. So this is purely for your use and your use only. So we're adding here the date of birth, and it automatically selects, Google's intelligence has selected the word date, and it's given you the drop down option here of a date. And we're going to slide this across to required because we want to make sure that everybody who is signing up as a new joiner is over the age of 18. We're going to add another question here, and we're going to ask for our client's address, and we are going to ask them to complete this in a paragraph. Again, this is not required because that's not listed in our policy, and therefore if the client doesn't want to disclose that, they are free to withhold that information. Next, we're going to ask them what you would like to gain from joining the course, and we're going to give them a checkbox or multiple choice answer. So I'm gonna go with multiple choice. Option 1, I'm going to ask them if it's to build their confidence. Option 2, to increase their income. Option 3, to network. And that gives them basically the option then to select one or all of the options of what they are looking to gain from your course. We're then going to add another question in here, and we're going to ask them what are your 6-week goals, and we're going to select paragraph so they're able to freely complete that as they choose. What are your 6-month goals? Again, we're going to open this up as a paragraph so they can write as little or as much as they want in this item. And lastly, we're going to ask them what are your goals long term, 6 years plus. and here. Right, okay, we're going to get rid of this because that is all the questions that we are asking our new joiners to do. So we want their name, their date of birth, their address, and then we're going to ask them what they'd like to gain from the course, what are their 6-week goals, their 6-month goals, and their long-term goals, 6 years plus. Once we have completed this, we are going to go to the colour palette. And I'm just going to select a blue colour because all of my logo and branding is blue. I'm going to actually go for this lighter one here. And we're going to go to the preview. Sorry, if I just go back to that, it's the eye in the top right hand. I'm going to click on that to the preview, and this is what your audience or your clients will see from your form. Once they have completed all of these items, they can then select here submit. Now what I would like to do today is go back and just make it a little bit more aligned with my branding. So I'm going to also add in a header, and to do so I'm going to go to upload, and there's one that I created previously in Canva. And I'm just going to capture that header, select done, and it's going to add my item in here, and it's changed my colour, so it's picked the most used colour in that header, so it's obviously taken my skin tone and added the branding to that colour. So I'm just going to select this blue so it's a bit more aligned with my branding, and then we'll go back to preview. That's what it would look like to anybody completing the form. And then we're going to select back to settings, and what we're going to do is here is collect email address, and then response receipts. We're going to limit everyone to one response per person, and we're going to allow our audience to be able to edit their responses once it has been submitted. I'm going to save these options. And then here on the right hand side we are going to select send, and then here you can select whether you're going to send that to your if you've got a database, if you've got a new joiner, or if you would like to take a shortened link, copy the link and then embed that link into your newsletter, into your Instagram post, on your Facebook group, and use that as a short link to your Google form. And in part 2 I will show you how we capture that data and how that's all tracked and saved within Google. Thank you.